Now, Pranam, dear devotees, thank you all so much for joining. Let's start with prayers. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलम् श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्री उपदेशामृत की जय, श्रील रूप गोस्वामी की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्णा, धन्यवाद प्रणाम। थैंक यू ऑल सो मच फॉर ज्वाइनिंग। हरि बोल, वेलकम। हरे कृष्णा,
धन्यवाद
प्रणाम स्वाति जी। So we are on verse 4 of
Hare
the
Krishna
lecture.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna. So we are
Hare Krishna.
discussing. Yes, Prabhu, Hare
Mataji,
Krishna.
before
Yes, Prabhu.
before starting class, I used to ask you one excuse from you at your end.
Yes, Prabhu,
Excuse.
please.
I am asking you some excuse.
Yeah, tell me, Prabhu.
Kshama.
Why,
Why?
Prabhu?
Because you are posting the Bhagavad Gita quiz. I am the regular, but I have not attended so many days. Yesterday, I taken full time to answer all those things. I am very sorry for having, even though you are given me an opportunity to educate, I have not utilized. That's why I am requesting, please pardon me. Hare Krishna.
No problem, Prabhu. And I know we all have a lot of other engagements, and you are attending so many classes and you are very regular, Prabhu. So please don't apologize. Yeah, you can just catch up. No problem. It's all there. You can catch up, Prabhu. No worries.
I have done, Mataji. I have done, up to date I have done.
Oh, wonderful. Haribol. Actually,
Krishna.
some days even I'm missing due to some other responsibilities. So my apologies for that. But I'll also try to be regular now. Yeah, it's a good opportunity for all of us.
Sorry, Mataji, I have disturbed you. Sorry. Hare Krishna.
No problem, Prabhu. No problem at all. No problem.
What is that, Mataji, question or what Prabhuji is telling? That,
Mataji, there is a daily Bhagavad Gita quiz for each verse. It's there on the ICF YouTube channel.
Oh.
So it's for each verse.
Oh.
It's multiple choice. So
Oh.
you can check it out, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mother. Thank you, Mataji. I didn't know, Mataji.
So, yeah, I mean, that's actually a very nice thing. And Divya Rupa Mataji, she prepares the questions. I just make the videos. So, all glories to her and to Achintya Gopinath Prabhu for this wonderful idea of having a daily Bhagavad Gita quiz for every verse. So, you can check it out. And there are other many interesting videos on the ICF YouTube channel. So, you can have a look. So, verse 4 is about the different exchanges which help nourish our relationship with devotees. So, let's start with the reading of the verse, and few devotees can take turns reading, and then we'll go into the discussions. Okay. So, would someone like to read the shloka? Yeah, Lalita Vinodini Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति गुह्यमाख्याति पृच्छति भुङ्क्ते भोजयते चैव षट्विधं प्रीतिलक्षणम्. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Krishna.
Anyone else? Yeah,
Hare Krishna
Sudha
Mataji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandat Pranam.
Pranam.
Dadati pratigೃಹ್ಣಾತಿ guhyamakyati pruchati punkte bhojayate chaiva षड्विधं प्रीति लक्षणम. Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Swati Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी दंडवत प्रणाम
Pranam.
ददाति प्रतिगृह्णाति गुह्यमाख्याति पृच्छति भुङ्क्ते भोजयते चैव षड्विधं प्रीतिलक्षणम्. हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Kripamai Mataji. Hari Bol.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandatna.
Pranam.
NOI 4. Tadadi pratigೃಹ್ಣಾತಿ guhyam akyati prachati punkte bojayati chaiva satvidam priti lakshanam. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hari Bol. So the loving exchanges are mentioned as offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad, and offering prasad are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. So, the offering of gifts, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind, inquiring confidentially, these have already been discussed. So, today we'll read after that. So, we have to start from here. The members of the International Society from this part. So, would someone like to read the purport?
May I read Mataji?
Yes, Mataji, you can start, and then Archana Mataji, you can take up. You had raised your hand.
No, I am Archana Mataji.
Oh, you okay. Sudha Mataji has also raised her hand.
So okay Mataji,
Archana,
let her read Mataji, then I'll read after
no,
that.
there are several paragraphs. So, Archana Mataji, you can read one paragraph, and then Sudha Mataji can read.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
The members of the international Mataji, it has gone up.
Yes, so Mataji, you just read till here. It is successful. And
Okay,
then
Mataji.
the Bhagavatam verse, Sudha Mataji can read.
Okay, Mataji. The members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness invite the society's members and supporters to dine with them when they hold love feast in all their branches every Sunday. Many interested people come to honor Prasada, and whenever possible, they invite members of the society to their homes and feed them sumptuously with Prasada. In this way, both the members of the society and general public are benefited. People should give up the company of so-called yogis, dhyanis, karmis, and philanthropists because their association can benefit no one. If one really wants to attain the goal of human life, he should associate with devotees of Krishna consciousness movement because it is the only movement that teaches one how to develop love of God. Religion is the special function of human society, and it constitutes the distinction between human society and animal society. Animal society has no church, mosque, or religious system. In all parts of the world, however downtrodden human society may be, there is some system of religion. Even tribal aborigines in the jungle also have a system of religion. When a religious system develops and turns into love of God, it is successful. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank
Dandavat
you,
pranams.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Sudha Mataji, you can
Yes,
read
Mataji.
from as stated.
Okay, Mataji. As stated in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 1.2.6. Savai pumsam paro dharma yato bhakti radokshage ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self. If the
Yeah,
members of
now, Mataji, now Kripa Mai Mataji has also raised her hand.
Okay, Mataji, okay. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, you can read the next para. Yeah, Kripa Mai Mataji, you can read
Thank you,
this
Mataji.
para. Yeah.
If the members of human society actually want peace of mind, tranquility, and friendly relations between men and nations, they must follow the Krishna conscious system of religion, by which they can develop a dormant love for Krishna, the personality of Godhead. As soon as the people do, their minds will immediately be empty. Shall I continue, Mataji?
No, Mataji, we'll discuss till here. Then, if time permits, we'll go because then the theme changes. We'll discuss till here. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for reading. Okay, so today's section starts with Bhumte Bhojayate. That means or accepting prasad and also offering prasad to devotees. So this is something that we see in normal materialistic or normal social life also, right? That people get together over meals, whenever like relations are relatives are together, it's always generally there is some food involved, or in business meetings also they discuss over lunch or dinner meetings. So this is a very common social thing, but we'll discuss how this is for a devotee's life. This is not something which is very ordinary or something that has to be taken very lightly, because these six kind of exchanges that are mentioned in this verse, uh, what is the purpose? The purpose is to nourish our relationship with devotees. So there are many things that we have been doing before we came to Krishna consciousness, at least for those who were initially not devotees and then became devotees. Some are fortunate that they are born into devotee families. So for them it's different. But those who have kind of lived a non-devotee life and then they come to devotee life, we have to understand the difference between the interactions we had with other normal people and then the interactions we have with devotees. So when we have interactions with relatives or friends or other people of this world, there is generally some motivation, some purpose behind it. Either we just want to socialize, or we just have to do some things because they are our relatives, or we have some materialistic goal in mind. But when we are in the association of devotees, it's a very different kind of setting. And that's why our consciousness should also be different. We cannot, we cannot be the same in both these kind of gatherings, because with devotees, we have to understand that we are very fortunate if we get association of devotees. So we have to first understand our fortune, and when we do that, then we'll be able to value this gathering more. So our approach should be very, very different. So, like for example, if we are inviting some relatives at home for prasad versus when we are inviting some devotees home for prasad, it's our consciousness needs to be very, 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 very pure. First of all, when we are cooking for the Lord, and when we are inviting devotees, and we should not take it lightly. Okay, so that's why there has to be a very careful behavior, behavioral change when we are with devotees. And these different kind of exchanges that we are reading in this verse, if we see, they are so logical, because when we think of someone, say all of you, think of someone, who brings back very fond memories. Someone you think of very fondly. Now, it could be our parents, it could be our siblings, it could be some friend, anyone. What do we think of, when we think of someone who's very dear to us? What do we think of? It could be our mother or our grandmother who cooked something very special for us, or who used to always cook something special for us, or someone who gave us a very very sweet gift, they would have given us, or someone who was very compassionate, they heard our problems, or someone who was with us at a time when we were very disturbed in life, or someone who has told us something in confidence, something like this. Some such interaction is always there, and those are the six kind of exchanges that we are mentioning here, right? So, the only thing is that those kind of exchanges, now we have to direct them towards devotees, because that will help develop attachment to devotees, and attachment to devotees is very auspicious. That is something that we should always try to cultivate. And that attachment, which is very auspicious, is developed by these six kind of activities. So we should always be on the lookout for some opportunity where we can do these six things. Either look for some opportunity when we can gift something to a devotee, but it should be something that they need, right? It's not like something is lying in my house, I don't need it, so I go and gift it to a devotee. It should not be like that. It should be something that they like, or something that they are in need of, and obviously if they give us something, we should very happily and with a very grateful heart we should receive it. Then in our congregation, in our temple or our centers, whenever we have any festivals or the Sunday love feast, we should try, and it's not like I should just go and I have prasad and I just come back. I mean, that is also nice, but it's nicer if we also try to serve, right? If there is, the devotees are sitting, and then we can take one item and ask if we can serve, and then serve devotees. Or, in our homes, we can invite devotees and cook nice prasadam, with a very loving heart, and offer that to devotees. And then our matters of our heart, that we can discuss with few devotees. I mean, obviously, we cannot discuss that with a larger group of devotees, but there will always be some devotees. If there's something we are struggling with in our devotional life, we can discuss with them. If they are telling us, we should give them a very, good hearing, and keep it to ourselves. So not go and broadcast it. So in this way, in these different ways, we are advised to nurture this relationship which we have with devotees. And Prabhupada, in his beautiful purport, he is not just talking about these six exchanges. See, if we read through the purport, he's also quoting other verses from other scriptures, because he's trying to remind and explain to us why we need these six exchanges. What is the purpose behind it? The purpose is to develop loving, relationships with devotees. But why is that required? That is required because we need purification. We need purification, and once that is done, then we will be able to access our dormant Krishna consciousness, and that purification happens in the association of devotees. It is very hard to just totally be away from devotee association, not having anyone around us, and just think that we'll be able to read all the books and purify our consciousness. No, our ego is very strong, our conditioning is very strong. We need these physical interactions with devotees for that purification to happen, so that our dormant Krishna consciousness is revived. Right now, our bhakti is in a very tender stage, like a sapling stage. And a sapling requires fencing around it for protection. So, our fencing is this group of devotees that we are part of. So, we really need to be in the association of devotees. And being in the association of devotees doesn't mean that, okay, on Sunday I go and I sit in a class with devotees, I don't talk or interact with anyone and come back. I mean, if someone is coming and attending a class, that will definitely purify them. But we should take it further. We should associate with devotees. We should cultivate these friendships with devotees. So that is done through these six exchanges, and these six exchanges will nourish us. We have to be very careful that our association, is favorable towards our bhakti. And associating with pure devotees is like the perfect thing for advancing our bhakti. Because pure devotees, they possess the power to free one from the tendency to fall into bad association. See, it really is the association, and I don't think I can stress that enough, but association is very, very important. I'm sure we can all think back to some conversation with some devotee where they said something, could be about our sadhana, it could be about something we need to do in our devotional life. And when they say those things, when devotees instruct us, sometimes they will correct us. And for whose benefit is that? It's for our benefit. Okay, so bhakti appears actually by the association of devotees. And how to associate with devotees? It's through these six loving exchanges which are shared between devotees, and they will nourish our bhakti. But these exchanges should be with devotees, not with jnanis, yogis, and karmis. Right? These are loving exchanges between devotees because that makes our, our fondness for bhakti increase. So initially, we may not find it very, easy to do, right? Because we all have our own set of, thought process. We have our conditionings, and suddenly coming in the association of devotees, serving, and disclosing our heart, hearing, it may not come naturally, but we should do it because that is the recommendation and that is going to help us on our path of bhakti. So, lovingly giving another devotee something that they need, they require, and accepting those items that are mercifully given by other devotees, revealing our confidential realization sometimes, hearing their descriptions of confidential tenets, their heart, lovingly serving prasad, accepting prasad that they offer. And these kind of exchanges, they constitute our sadhu sang, our association with saintly persons in the pure form. And these six activities are symptoms of love. Like I discussed earlier, that whenever we think of someone who we are very fond of, one of these exchanges are always there with them, right? So these are symptoms of love, and we should serve sadhus by performance of these activities. So Prabhupada is saying that when a devotee distributes prasad, remnants of food offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in order to maintain our spirit of devotional service, we must accept this prasad as the Lord's grace received through the pure devotees. Should also invite pure devotees to our home, offer them prasad, and be prepared to please them in all respects. Okay, so this activity of accepting prasad and serving prasad to devotees, we should not take it lightly. Okay, in the material world that we are living in, sadly, food is glamorized a lot. It's sensationalized. That's why there'll be a lot of ads for different food items, and for different kind of restaurants, for different cuisines. There's so much of glamorization that happens, and that, sadly, that makes us think that this food is just something for my sense enjoyment. So food is generally taken as something for our sense enjoyment. But food is very important in devotional culture and not for sense enjoyment. When we cook food, when we offer it to the Lord, then offer it to the devotees, it becomes something that just doesn't nourish our bodies, but it also nourishes our hearts. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, which we have all read, we see there are so many instances where there are chapters where it's discussed that how devotees were inviting the Lord for prasad. There are so many descriptions of food items, right? Like Damayanti, Mother Damayanti used to send Raghav Pandit, and she used to make so many different food packets and send for Lord Chaitanya when he was in Puri, right? And then we also see in Lord Ram's pastimes how Shabri ji was offering those berries. That is also food, but through that she was conveying her love to the Lord. So food is a medium by which affection is channelized. Okay, it's a medium, it's an expression of love. Sadly, this whole concept, which was very much inherent in our Vedic culture of cooking food at home, and always having home cooked food, or at least most of the time having home cooked food. If we go back even to the generation of our parents, at least, my parents have told me that this concept of eating out was not there. On special occasions also, if it's something, important days also, something special was always cooked at home only. So it was always this, it was all centered around home cooked food. And then the food that was cooked at home was cooked with a lot of love, with very pure ingredients, and it was freshly made. And consciousness of, the person who was cooking, our mothers or our grandmothers, everything was coming into the food, and that was passed to the people who were accepting that food. Sadly, now this concept of eating out or ordering from out is so popular, and it has become so easy to order food from outside that people are not seeing the problem that comes with it. First of all, is the gross problem that ingredients are not pure. It is definitely not healthy, right? Most of the food that is coming from outside. And the most important thing is the consciousness. With what consciousness was that food cooked? That is transferred through the food. It's a very subtle thing, but people don't realize. So that's the problem our society is currently facing. And in many homes, we see that the lady of the house, if she is cooking food, if she is giving that much time to the food, she is rarely valued, which is very sad because it's an activity that she has to do every single day. It's 365 into 7. Every single day of the year, she has to cook. It's a big commitment. So, if someone is doing that for one's family, such a person should ideally get respect, but she doesn't. And that is why many times, ladies don't want to cook. It's very sad. But when we come to the path of bhakti, we have to understand this activity is very important. It's a very important activity for our family members and us, and it's a very important seva also for the Lord, right? And this is a way, this gives us a very, very beautiful way of expressing our love for the Lord. And when we cook with love, that food that we see externally, whether it is the rice or the chapati or the sabji, externally we see these items, but inside these items, we are sending our love to Krishna. Like His Grace Amog Leela Prabhu explains this concept of offering. For example, I give a tiffin box to my friend. Inside that box, I put bundi laddu and I give it to my friend. When my friend returns that box, at least in our Indian culture, we don't give boxes empty, right? We put something inside and then return. So my friend has accepted that bundi laddu, and she has returned my box with dhokla inside it. Externally, I will still see the same box, but the content has changed. I gave her laddu, she gave me dhokla. In the same way, when we are offering it to the Lord, the items look the same, but we are giving our love to Krishna, and when Krishna gives it back, he gives us mercy. Okay, so the same thing, we give love and Krishna gives mercy. So it is such an important seva and something we can all do. And it doesn't have to be very lavish food. Even fruits, water, Krishna accepts that too. But this action, this activity, this shows, our seva, this shows our love to Krishna. So we are offering our devotion to the Lord and then exchanging it with devotees, sharing it with devotees. And this reciprocation, that is our quality of affection. We show our affection through that. Now, some people think that if we invite sadhus to our home for prasad, then what happens is that they are going to take away our sins. So feed them a lot because
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Mataji's line got disconnected. Just wait.
Okay, Mataji. Thank
She
you.
has joined, I think. Archana Mataji, you there? Archana Mataji?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. I think you have become host. Mataji has joined to, oh, she hasn't joined it. When she joined, you have to make her host.
Okay Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji has come back. Ansi Mataji.
Hare Krishna, I'm so sorry there was a power cut here. I'm so sorry about that. Just share the screen and yeah, so I was saying, yeah, so we were discussing about this activity of offering prasad to the Lord and accepting that. And then I was telling about that some people think that uh, when we are inviting sadhus to our homes, then if we feed them a lot, then they are going to take away our sins. This was the thinking, the mentality for some people, but that's not what devotees should be thinking, that we are not calling people so that we get purified of our sins. No, that's not the attitude we should have. The attitude should be of service, that if we are if some devotees are coming home, then it's our great fortune that they agree to come, First of all, we should recognize that, and then it's our duty to serve them very nicely. Okay, and the service should be in the mood of pleasing the devotees whom we are serving. So we should not overload the devotees, and try to overfeed them if they're not comfortable. Plus, if we know some devotees, their dietary restrictions, then we should definitely be mindful of that. Like sometimes some Maharajis come, so they have very specific diet that needs to be followed. So devotees take care of those things. And otherwise also, because the point is not that the devotees are coming and I want to show off my cooking and show everyone how well I can cook. No, the point is that I'm trying to please the devotees. So it should all be in the motivation should be to serve them, and then according to their taste, according to their desires, we should cook and serve them. So sometimes some devotees, they will keep serving, and even if the other devotee is not comfortable, so we should not be doing that. We should be mindful, because we should not trouble the devotees just because I have to do this seva. So even if someone is full, I still go and overload them. That's not what we should do. And the other way, when we are accepting prasad, then also we should not overeat. Okay, accepting prasad also is a service to Krishna, but that's not the only service to Krishna. So it should not be that we eat so much that we just keep sleeping all day, giving up all other sevas. So sometimes when devotees are serving us, if we are done, we should really very firmly but very politely and gently say no. Okay, and it should, because this this service of accepting prasad should not become a way to fulfill our urge, urge of our tongue. And this we have already read in Atyahar. Atyahar has to be avoided. So prasad is Krishna's mercy, but we have to accept to a limited extent only. We should not be overeating, because that becomes, again, that goes into Atyahar, and that is harmful for the progress of our bhakti. And this whole culture of offering prasad, accepting prasad, is very, very beautiful. And we see this in the spiritual world also, because Radharani, Mother Yashoda, they love to cook for Krishna. Now, and other devotees also. Now, in the spiritual world, we know that there are desire trees, right, kalpatrus. But devotees don't just go there and say, okay, give me, these items. I want to offer it to Krishna. Just quickly give these items. No, they don't go to kalpatru trees to get items for Krishna, because they want to personally cook for Krishna. Radharani, Mother Yashoda, they want to do that. They really love cooking for Krishna. So the primary focus is, the devotion in our service. That is where our focus should be. And His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu and His Grace Chaitanya Charan Prabhu, they explain this concept very beautifully. And Chaitanya Charan Prabhu talks about content versus intent. Now, when we are offering any prasad items to devotees, and this will apply to the gifts also, uh, content and intent. In these two things, our intent is definitely more important. So we see this example when Lord Krishna goes in at the time of Mahabharat. Duryodhan, he offered a big feast to Krishna, and on the other hand, Vidurani was offering very simple things to Krishna. But the intent of Duryodhan was very negative, and Vidurani's heart was full of love. So who did Krishna accept? Krishna accepted Vidurani's love. So intent is definitely more important than the content. But Prabhu explains that our intent is expressed through content. Okay, intent is definitely more important. If I'm giving someone something, some devotee, I'm giving them a gift, or I'm giving them some prasad, what is my intention behind it? That is definitely most important. But if my intent is very pure, then that should also reflect in the content. For example, if I'm cooking something for the Lord or for to be offered to the Lord and then to the devotees. If my intention is very pure, then I should also be cooking with that pure intention. So we should be very attentive while cooking. It's not that, just because I have very good intention, so I can make very poor quality content also, and that will also do. When the intent is genuine, then the content should also be the best that we can offer. Now, that may differ between devotees because our cooking abilities may be different. We may not know as much as some other devotees know. But if my intent is very pure, then I should have done my best in preparing the bhoga for the Lord and the prasad for the devotees. So our intent is very important. It should always be service, but that should also reflect in our content. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to give very lavish items. No, it is just that the quality. If we are cooking with attention, then that will definitely reflect in the way we have cooked. It will definitely affect the end result. Okay, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we also have this very beautiful pastime of the Chira Dahi festival, right? Where Lord Nityanand had ordered Raghunath Das Goswami to serve Chira Dahi to all the devotees, and this practice is followed even till date in our tradition. And that was such a beautiful reciprocation, right? Such a beautiful expression of love, because even though the items they may seem simple, but the love is so beautiful. In our temples now also there is Chiradai festival, and there are different devotees who celebrate this festival differently, but the whole pastime is remembered. The love of Raghunath Das Goswami for Lord Nityananda, Lord Nityananda's mercy, that is remembered. So this very simple act of a Chira Dahi festival becomes divine, becomes so purifying, because we remember why that festival took place. What was the love and what was the affection that was shared between Lord Nityananda and Raghunath Das Goswami. So whenever we are, doing these practices of Bhunjte, Bhojayate, when we are receiving something from devotees, then we should always have this desire to give also. Like, in our temples, if we are sitting, devotees are serving prasad, then we should try and serve them. You know, make sure that they are also sitting and they are also comfortably having prasad. Because if we only take and we don't give back, then the reciprocation will not be complete. Okay. So, and also if we are going to some devotees' homes for accepting prasadam, say they have invited a group of devotees for prasadam. Then there, when we go, we should try to have some kirtan. We should try to speak about Krishna. So in this way, we should also be willing to give Krishna to them because they are giving Krishna to us. So this reciprocation, we should try to complete this. And this activity of giving gifts or offering prasad to devotees, this is so beautiful because it gives a tangible form to something that is intangible. Now, our affection towards devotees, it's something which cannot be seen. It's not tangible. But through this activity of giving and receiving prasad, that intangible thing gets a form. And if we really have a lot of love, then our cooking, our serving, our gifting, it will just reflect that love. And it is that love which reaches the heart of the other devotee. And then this bond becomes very, very strong. Once we get this bond with devotees very, very strong, that is like our safety net that will pull us back every time we get distracted. See, to have that kind of love for the Lord, that is something that is of a very high level. And it may not come in the initial stages for many devotees. But love with devotees, that can come. That comes first, actually. And then that keeps bringing us back. Many times we may not really feel like going to the temple for the aarti, but we may just want to go because we really want to be in the association of devotees. At least if we get to that stage, then that association is pulling us to the temple. And then there will come a stage when we want to go to the temple also. Then we get attracted to the deities, the whole setting. But it generally, for most, it will start with these relationships. So it is very important to cultivate these relationships with devotees. Very, very important. And in this a very wonderful purport, Prabhupada is again quoting from Srimad Bhagavatam, Savaivam Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhaktir Adhokshaje Ahetukiya Pratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. So Prabhupada is again reminding us that why is this so important? Because the supreme occupation for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendent Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted in order to completely satisfy the self. So it's not just that these activities are just told and there is no relationship with our bhakti. No, for that bhakti to become strong, for that bhakti to sustain, we need these kind of relationships with devotees. So just this, going to this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada has written a very beautiful purport. And Prabhupada says in this purport that we have purposely denoted dharma as occupation because the root meaning of the word dharma is that which sustains one's existence. And Prabhupada says that a living being's sustenance of existence is to coordinate his activities with his eternal relation with the Supreme Lord Krishna. So, what is our most important dharma? That is our relationship with Krishna. We have to revive that. Krishna is a central pivot of living beings, and he's the all attractive living entity or eternal form amongst all other living beings or eternal forms. And Prabhupada says that Krishna is a complete whole. Everything is his part and parcel. And every living being has his eternal form in the spiritual existence, and Krishna is the eternal attraction for all men. This relation of servant and served is most congenial form of intimacy. So service is very, very inherent in our path of bhakti. This is something that, the word servant actually, when we hear this word, sadly, in the material context, it gives a sort of a negative feeling because it brings about a compulsion, that, okay, I'm the servant, so I have to do it. But in the spiritual context, being a servant is the most beautiful thing. Because when one is a servant, one is serving whom? One is serving the Supreme Lord, our most well wishing friend, our benefactor, our Supreme Father and Mother. And that the servant in the spiritual context is not out of any material compulsion, but it is just purely out of love. So Prabhupada is saying that one can realize this as devotional service progresses, and everyone should engage himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, even in the present conditional state of material existence, and that will gradually give one clue to actual life and please him to complete satisfaction. We are living in a very unnatural state because we are separated from Krishna. We have to revive this relationship that we have forgotten. And to revive this relationship, we need a certain level of purification. Our consciousness needs to come at a certain level. Our ego needs to go down. And that happens in the association of devotees. See, when we are reading through these verses, we should constantly try to relate how these two things are connected. They are very closely connected. When we are able to associate with devotees, when we are able to do these loving exchanges very nicely, then we get attachment to devotees. And then we are in the shelter of devotees. Through this attachment, through this association of devotees, we have purification of heart, right? Because we'll get guidance from devotees, they will correct our mistakes also. Our ego will get hurt sometimes, but that is very important. Our ego needs to go to the natural state where we just realize that I'm actually a servant of everyone. So our pumped up ego needs to be punctured. And that will happen in the association of devotees. We learn so many things from devotees. We'll get so much of motivation from devotees. See, just some, like I heard this from His Holiness Swayam Bhagwan Keshav Swami Maharaj, that if you want to walk very fast, then you can walk alone. But if you want to walk far, then you have to be in the association of others. So yeah, we may think that I'm good on my own. I can do things on my own and I can really progress farther very fast. Okay, I can do this, I can do that. But you know, that speed is not important, but how far are we going? That is very important because we have to go till the spiritual world. We have to go till the point of love for Krishna. For that, we need people around us. Okay, it's very, very, very important. Like, because I mentioned this thing, we should remind ourselves because our bhakti is still very tender. We need the fence, and that fence is the association of devotees. And what do we do in the association of devotees? That is what is given in this verse. Okay, so this gives us guidance about how we should interact with devotees and and how we can continue staying in the association of devotees so that that constant purification keeps happening. And as that constant purification keeps happening, then that dormant love for Krishna is then finally realized. And in the last para that we read today, Prabhupada is saying that if the members of human society actually want peace of mind, tranquility, and friendly relations between men and nations, they must follow the Krishna conscious system of religion by which they can develop their dormant love for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As soon as people do so, their minds will immediately be filled with peace and tranquility. So, peace, tranquility, this is something everyone is looking for, right? So, why do we associate with devotees in these six loving ways? The spiritual benefit is that it provides the success of religion, our dharma. And then, when a religious system develops and turns into love of God, it is successful. So, that is the reference to Shrimad Bhagavatam 1 to 6. And the peace that we get, that is the mental benefit. I'm sure we all have this experience that we feel much more relaxed when we are in the association of devotees, right? Sometimes there may be some issues or some misunderstandings that this is the material world that will happen. That's all right. But nothing is so big that we should leave association of devotees because of that. And mostly, we'll definitely feel more peaceful and in the association of devotees. That's a mental benefit. What is a social benefit? Tranquility. That calmness that we feel in the association of devotees because at least everyone is trying to have Krishna in the center. Rather than thinking of our selfish interest, everyone is thinking of Krishna's interest, making Krishna happy. And that itself changes the whole dynamic. If everyone is thinking about their own selfish interests, then it's everyone is just pulling away, right? And now in devotee association, everyone is just coming together because Krishna is the center. And then the universal benefit, there can be friendship between men and nations. That's only possible if everyone comes in and realizes that Krishna is actually the one who has to be served, and we are the ones who have to serve the Lord. He is the enjoyer, and we are the ones who should always think of his enjoyment. We are not the enjoyers. Krishna is the enjoyer. So we must follow the Krishna conscious system of religion by which we can develop our dormant love for Krishna. So today we discussed about uh, offering of prasad to devotees, accepting prasad, and this activity it should never be taken casually. It's very important. And when we are cooking prasad for devotees, it should be very cleanly made and cooked with a lot of love. And we should offer fresh items to devotees, serve it hot. And most importantly, we should serve it with love, like the fruit vendor who was serving Krishna all the fruits with love. And even Shabriji, she was removing all the bitter fruits, the bitter berries, and giving only the best thing to Lord Ram. So from her, we learn this lesson that my devotional service should not be mediocre. I should not be doing something just for the sake of it. but it should be the best that I can offer to the Lord. That quality of service should be there. So, in all our interactions with devotees, we should always remember why we are doing these things. We are doing these 6 activities so that we get attachment to devotees. With that attachment, we'll be able to stay in the association of devotees, and staying in the association of devotees will bring about purification of our heart, which will in turn help us realize our dormant love for Krishna. So, this is how the whole link works. And when we are reading through these principles, we should always keep the ultimate goal in mind. Okay, so I'll stop here today. If there are any questions, any comments, anyone would like to add something, any realizations?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Mataji, you told that for the first 2 shlokas also you will be sending acronym, but you sent only third shloka, Mataji.
For the first two, there was a summary, Mataji. Acronym was not there for the first two, but I'll
Okay,
check
Mataji.
again. Yeah.
Okay,
Actually,
Mataji.
this
Thank you.
acronym, this acronym was for all the principles was split into like an acronym. So this is something that was readily there. For first two also, I'll check it out, Mataji. If I can find acronyms, I'll send it. Thank you for
Thank you
reminding
so
me.
much.
I
Thank you so
missed
much.
that. Yeah. Thank you so much. I'll definitely look for it, Mataji, and send it. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Mataji, your parents self is told to regarding the association, sharing my experience.
Yes,
Mataji, I
Prabhu.
am attending the classes.
Hmm.
During classes, I used to attend the Bhagavatam class between 8 and 9. That Archana Mataji is here in this forum. She is attending. She is Archana Mataji.
Mm-hmm.
I in some days, sometimes I can't able to pronounce and recite this slokas.
Okay.
You believe that Mataji,
Hmm.
after closure of the class, she used to send the recordings, how to recite, and where the association makes me really, I am younger. Really, I am, even though I am 70, so really, the thing is, I am not able to leave the classes. So it makes me a young man. So this is the strength of this association. So I am really grateful to you, and then that Archana Mataji who is in the class. So she is great personality. I will thankful to her, Mataji. This is the right forum to say thanks to her.
Hare, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Actually, you are the senior most in our class, Prabhuji. And since you asked that day, you requested, I thought I will share for you. That is the thing, Prabhuji. Nothing like this. Not praise me.
You are the great personality. That's why I am honoring you. I am praising you, Mataji. I am praising you because you are the great personality, super soul. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Yeah, so practically, Prabhu gave us an example of how association is so powerful and so strong. So thank you so much, Prabhu, and thank you, Archana Mataji. Hari Bol. Wonderful.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you all. Thank you all for giving association to me also. Okay, so we'll stop here. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्री उपदेशामृत की जय, श्रील रूप गोस्वामी की जय, श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री गुरु महाराज की जय। Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you all so much.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna,
Krishna,
Dandavat
Dandavat
Pranam.
Pranams.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.